Yeah, I think the most important thing for us is getting new voices. Our way of writing is we write in 4-week cycles. We have 6 writers in those 4 weeks. We have a steady 4 writers that are on and have been there pretty much since the get-go. And then every 4 weeks we rotate in two new writers to get some other perspectives on things. And we found a lot of great people through that. And they then go off and do their own shows, and we try to lure them back in any way we can and beg for them to.
And because also we do parody, I mean, there's always new shit to mock.
Do you think the exposure on things like Family Guy has helped?
Yeah, I don't think it's hurt.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it definitely helps us. I think we become a cult phenomenon in a weird way. We're actually more popular than cult anymore. But it's. I love people who are like, do you get mad when Family Guy does that? I'm like, Seth Green is a regular on Family Guy, and they're friends. So they called Seth up and like, hey, can we make fun? And he's like, yeah, let's make fun. And like, so it's all in the family. Like, again, Seth MacFarlane was working on our stuff with Breckin when we did it as webisodes back for Sony Screen Blast back in 2000, and it was after Family got canceled the first time.
What is the line between cult and pop? Like, when were you like across?
I think you get to that place where it's like there's a certain type of people where people watch your show, and it's just that fan base. And then when it goes out to like, if my parents start to hear about it and understand my show, it becomes a little bit more on the popular side. Like, even on Twitter, it's like, you can see when a show jumps that phase where it's like, oh, it's all praise, like Venture Brothers in a way. It's a lot of praise. And then it gets to that place where it becomes a little more known and people are like, oh, I think there might be too many characters now. I'm like, there were too many characters to begin with, and that's what makes it so great. It's just...
But like with our show, it starts off as like, a bunch of kids sitting around a dorm room on the interweb smoking pot, and then eventually it's people who don't smoke pot are watching the show too, and you're like, oh my god, really?
I mean, a cartoon war?
Battle.
I think Family Guy threw down the gauntlet with us. No, it's a weird situation. We're friends with everybody in a weird way. Everything we poke fun of is really we're having fun with it because we love it. And so I think that's really what makes us different than a lot of the other shows that are out there. And then those people who are making fun of come on our show to make fun of themselves, which is really weird and awesome, and all the credit to them for doing that. Yeah. Yeah. I think it starts with
you're right.
It's the writers.
How do you guys get the guest celebrities that you get?
Beg.
Yeah. Initially beg, and now it's gotten to a weird place where people actually say like, hey, can I come to the show? I'm like, really? You've seen it? And they're like, yeah. Okay. So it's just,
has the head of Adult Swim ever want to choke you guys out for making fun of them? You've actually put them in.
Lazo?
They canceled you because you were making fun of them.
Yeah.
They didn't really cancel us.
Of course they did.
We write that just to be jerks. With Lazo, I think he just got to the place where he just doesn't want to do his own voice because he heard Clark Duke, I don't know if you know him, mimic him. And he fell in love with the us mocking him voice better than he thinks he can perform himself. Yeah. So now he enjoys that version of himself more. So.
Now,
there was one. I think we censored it more so than the baby joke. Do you remember that? It's like it's this terrible thing where woman gives birth and wow, like the baby's coming out, and then the doctor looks at the baby and like realizes that the baby's not alive, and the woman's like, oh my god, is it a boy or a girl? Is he okay? And like you just see the doctor go wah wah. and we cut that because I don't know, we just shouldn't.
Because you just heard why.
Yeah, so that one got cut by us.
There was a sketch I wrote that I still want to turn into a kid's book. Called the Doorway.
I forgot about
and
that.
It's my favorite standards and practice note we've ever received. I printed it out and framed it. But it's basically about a little kid who moves into a new house, and there's a little door he finds in his bedroom, and at night a little magical rabbit comes out of that door and does bad things to him while he's sleeping. And he wakes up and the little kid nails up the door, and so the rabbit does other awful things to the kid's mouth while he's sleeping. And he explains that's what happens if you lock the door. And so it's a Sophie's choice of what you're going to get with that rabbit. But we got the SMP note, and I wanted Malcolm McDowell to voice it. Like I was so fucking excited about this skit. And then we got a note from SMP. Somehow I got them to vote on it, so we got to do it. And then the note from Standards of Practicing came down and said we cannot go forward with the sketch due to the fact that the rabbit fornicates with the boy while he's sleeping and defecates in his mouth. And I was like, they get it. I don't understand why they're not letting it go through.
Breckin, with your career also taking place, Franklin and Bash, your film career, have with Perry
Don't forget
being
Men at
in
Work.
mind, yep, Men
Don't
at
forget Men at Work, the
Work.
Australian
with Perry
band.
being at mind, have you just gotten ready just to let the guys take everything, like you and Mark Paul Gossier, or even you and Alicia Silverstone making fun of Clueless, going back and just making fun of yourselves?
Oh, I mean, honestly, I think it's fair game all around. I've never. I mean, as long as I get to voice myself, usually that's my biggest complaint is if I don't get to do it. But no, I'm happy anytime I mean, that's the thing. Honestly, not even just me, but like Mark Paul. Like Mark Paul came on the show to make fun of himself. It's so much fun when you get to do that. Some of the early stuff, we get the guys who actually did the Smurfs voices.
We got Brainy Smurf.
And they get to make fun of the thing they've been doing for 15 years. It's fun to take the piss out of yourself or have someone do it, you know. So that's why I like the show, is no matter how much stuff you're busy doing, that's like the place you can come home to and get mocked, you know. That's part of the fun.